versus Av3k is going to be live on map number 1 right now here, week 15 of the Quake Pro League. We're starting off on vengeurR.
Yeah, they're both going to spawn on the same side, and vengeurR, I think, saw his opponent briefly, so he's going to head over to the heavy. Now, he didn't grab it. He's going to bait it out here, but no, my gosh, he almost loses it. I just saw his opponent from corner of my eye. vengeurR knows what he's doing, though. He grabs that and delays it just a little bit, which will make this first fight really fantastic for him.
Ooh, Av3k needs to get out of there. He's in the danger zone, and vengeurR has the perfect weapon to try and do some damage from there. Big rocket as well. The follow-up doesn't hit. The dire orb to counteract the peeker. And Av3k doing well to kind of mitigate vengeur's presence and aggressiveness here. LG from down below making sure he doesn't drop, but a little bit of fadeaway tri-bolt from vengeurR to keep the damage up.
Wow. I mean, honestly, that LG from vengeurR, it was so telling. All right, it was, or excuse me, from Av3k. It was so telling because, first off, great weapon choice. But second of all, vengeurR did not jump there. He is respecting the fact that Av3k can whip out a ridiculously highly accurate LG. And so we're going to have a fight here over at the Mega. Now, that allowed Av3k to grab that heavy. It's likely going to be regained here by vengeurR. Maybe not. Wow, sneaking in, and the dire orb up to the top, rocket to the face. Both players pretty weak, but vengeurR doing a ton of damage, not getting the frag. Av3k pretty much losing his stack.
Really nice to be careful there as the LG will land. Av3k trying to pepper in with machine gun on the way out. But yeah, vengeurR kind of gives up the item in favor of the damage, and it works out as Av3k is on the back foot now, and vengeurR has positioning on the heavy. So really, really smart trade. And let's be very clear here. I know I mentioned that vengeurR has amazing mechanics. Av3k does too. Av3k can absolutely pull things out of the hat. I just think vengeurR does some flashier, insane plays more often than Av3k, but Av3k no slouch at all. I mean, an absolute legend, a titan in the game, but vengeurR firmly in control with the stack now, has the positioning on the Mega, and Av3k just using that experience to play really slow, figure out where vengeurR is, and not give anything up easy.
I mean, it's been a crazy game so far. 2 minutes in, 0-0. You'd expect a really high fragging game, like kind of like what you saw early on, but no. A lot of respect between these two players. Also noting what is important for you know, results here leading into the championship. So more tri-bolt coming out. It's been pretty effective for both players so far. They're getting ready for Mega. Now, vengeurR's going to... He's going to kind of rotate around and grab that Mega. Is he going to be able to make it over to the heavy? He does. So that one decision earlier on, 40, he gives up the power-ups, regains it when he needs to, but now he has got full control of both major items, and we are 3 minutes into this match.
And just such a good chess match right now. Av3k being very respectful, but also vengeurR having the stack, not just dropping down to take a fight, because again, he knows Av3k has amazing mechanics. So both players extremely respectful right now, just waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike.
The delay by vengeurR earlier in this matchup is really kind of playing out quite well for him right now, as he's going to grab another cycle of our major items. I cannot believe we haven't had a frag yet here on Corrupted Heat, but again, really interesting game. Ooh, eating a full load of tri-bolt right there. As Av3k is going to make his way up now and try to see if he can press this advantage at all. He knows that he did some decent damage to his stack. The dire orb does come out. It's going to allow Av3k to grab that Mega, but he's going to have to be careful here, 40. He's right below him. He's going down for it. Rocket does hit. Nice rocket in. He does have to give up the heavy, though, but both players survive.
What I love about that dire orb at the Mega was he purposefully stuck it on the ledge so vengeurR couldn't even peek over to do damage on the Mega. And that's just so smart from Av3k. He had no intention of taking that dire orb, but he does take the damage from the peeker and the rocket right in his pocket. That's going to open it up, Wheat. And the dire orb retaliation. What is going on?
A beautiful reset here, but it's going to be Av3k who's going to try to press the advantage here. Some great shotgun blast coming out by vengeurR, and he is going to be able to get that frag 2-1 now, as we had the trade early on, but LG grabbed by Av3k. That's a weapon he wants right now. vengeurR responding with his own LG and getting most of the damage in, just waiting for that Mega to pop up. Av3k's going to be back up, and he's going to have to choose whether or not he's going to attack here. He decides to grab that light, and vengeurR will camp on top of that Mega to grab it. Now it's going to be a fight over this heavy. vengeurR in a great position, putting himself between Av3k and the heavy. He's going to sit now on top of it. And what a reset, 40. Very quick. And you saw sort of the smell of blood that took place the moment that vengeurR got that sweet, sweet peeker damage and then finished it off with that rocket. He immediately went in for that next frag, but we're still only one frag between these two.
More peeker damage, 37 on that one. The LG push, and Av3k again with the dire orb just misdirects and grabs the mega and gets the hell out of there. vengeurR makes a mad dash for the heavy to try and keep this item control on lock. A lot of LG, but he gets pushed off the last second with a shotgun frag. Wow.
I mean, that's twice, 40. That's 2 frags in that exact same scenario where I think Av3k is just like, well, I kind of have to make a move for it. And most of Av3k's deaths have been around these major item fights. So, you know, vengeurR, in my opinion, has just been setting it up, right? He has been using the major items as the focal points for setting up traps versus Av3k. And we're seeing it now really, really come to fruition here. 4-1 with 4 minutes left to go. There's still plenty of time here, but Av3k has to be careful about which of these fights that he is deciding to take. Because every single one has been a result of vengeurR just playing really, really 5-head at the major items.
So much damage at the peeker to close it as vengeurR. The rockets are just out of this world, Wheat.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, like, look at what peeker has done. Yeah, we had that really sick trade dire orb early on, 40. But peeker's been a huge, huge asset to vengeurR here in this matchup. 5-1 now. That 4-frag lead's starting to probably feel pretty comfortable. Can't really let up too much quite yet. And Av3k is going to be able to grab another mega. And he does give a few more seconds onto that right now. But he hasn't been able to really grab too many of these heavies. vengeurR's got 9 to Av3k's 4. And then Av3k's just been trying to gobble up all those lights.
Yeah, the missed dire orb right there. He wanted to get up close and personal, but the peeker comes out again. A little bit of damage this time, but dealt with nicely. But that rocket pop was huge. Sends Av3k to the heavens. And vengeurR's rockets are just, I mean, they always are, but they're just so ridiculous. And LG on LG, and Av3k gets the best of them and wins the mega. Hard-earned.
Yeah, Av3k relying on his LG is probably something he's going to need to do in order to win this series. And going all the way back to that first set of frags where Av3k kind of used his LG as defense, because vengeurR knows that as well. Av3k's going to pick up another one with the LG as he's waiting for that heavy. And this is a pretty big moment here in this matchup. vengeurR needs to hold on, and Av3k only needs 2 to bring it back. Now, he's got 2 minutes in order to do that, but he's got a full cycle of major items. This is his time to strike.
Yeah, big opportunity here for Av3k here. A little bit of a tickle, and he also Pac-Mans the light armor, at least one of them here. So this is really, really big. Less than 2 minutes. vengeurR trying to hold ground on this heavy. Is Av3k going to push in 10 seconds until the dire orb? So he doesn't really have that for insurance. It's going to be LG on LG, and vengeurR, how? Wow. How do you do that much? What a bead from vengeurR to take down Av3k from that position.
Maybe Av3k was a little too thirsty there. He tries to go in for that big damage there, but unfortunately the burst isn't going to work out for him. It's 7-3 as vengeurR is going to be able to hold on to this one. I think it's going to be pretty tough at this point. Av3k did need to go for it, right? It wasn't the match wasn't going to be to him. He was going to have to make a move for it, but it just didn't work out, 40. You know, vengeurR just too much on it. I don't know how he hit all that LG. On one hand, I think Av3k unfortunately exposed himself there. Av3k is going to pick up another one. Can he get 3 in 1 minute?
There's always time. There's the dire orb, and vengeurR's already getting the hell out of there, but he's going to get caught right here. Can he do some magic with the shotgun? There's the rocket. Just needs a little bit more machine gun. The peeker comes out, and that's not the play. So 2 frags with 45 seconds. This is very possible on Corrupted Keep, especially if he gets this frag right now. And Av3k almost does. He does
That's
it.
Huge.
He's so weak.
That is huge. Av3k is very low, but he's going to pick up that heavy. vengeurR knows he's low, gonna try to just do some long-range damage here. 30 seconds left on the clock. Can Av3k claw his way back? Mega is up, and Av3k saw it. He's going to drop on top of it, grabs that. He does have plenty of time to make it over that heavy. He knows that vengeurR doesn't have much of a stack, so this would be a good opportunity. If he grabs that heavy, he's really going to know. Oh, unfortunately, he misses the rocket jump. His head just unfortunately hits the top of there. He's going to dire orb fake, heading over to the heavy, but his opponent gets there first, and that is not going to happen for Av3k. What a hold on for vengeurR. It's unfortunate. He had to do what he could do. The dire orb at the last moment didn't work out.
Real close, real close. Just some movement flubs near the end there. The pressure's on. I mean, everyone is kind of looking at you. It is tough to maintain that really smooth movement, but very close. And Av3k again showing that he doesn't lay down and, you know, die. He takes the fights. He's always in the game no matter what the frag deficit may be, but that's going to be the final score, 7-6. vengeurR takes map number 1, but it was a close one.
I wonder if that rocket jump would have, you know, hit, if that would have had any effect, right? He kind of lost 15 seconds, 20 seconds there, even though he did bring that back. Man,
yeah,
hard to imagine in some alternate universe. 40 is the timeline split right there, and Av3k hits the rocket jump. We're still casting sudden death, but it's over here in this universe, and vengeurR takes the first game 7-6. But both players looking great. Definitely the kind of game that I want to see against two players of this caliber.
Absolutely, and I love the start. Very cool, calm, and collected. A game of chess until about the 4th minute where it kind of exploded. Both players getting their opening frags as well. The retaliation from the dire orb from Av3k, the peeker play first from vengeurR, and then it kind of snowballed out of there. A little bit of a defensive play after that, but just a really solid first map, especially as spectators. I mean, that's what you love to see. Going into map number 2, we're going to get into Ruins. It's going to be that Visor versus Galena that you talked about, and it should be interesting. I wonder if it's going to be just as slow. I mean, Ruins is a little bit bigger, and we did see little glimpses of, like, potential aggression, but the tribal kind of actually really was a big deal for both players on Corrupted Keep there.
I mean, I do think that this map is generally going to be a bit more slow. I think we might see some rail wars. That would make the most sense to me. Obviously, Av3k's going to prioritize his totems, and vengeurR's going to prioritize ways to pop his vision and try to put himself in an advantageous position. Whether or not that's going to result in fast-paced play, I think is all going to rely on how these two rails are feeling today. You know, we've seen rail god tier on Ruins, right? Controlling that middle upper level, just doing things. It's just like, what? How did they hit these perfect pixel perfect angles? So is that possible? Absolutely. But it's hard to say. I feel we're going to have a little bit slower game though. Maybe more akin to what we saw in the first 3 minutes of that last game.
Hey, if it ends up like the last game, that's fine. They can have as slow a start as they want. Yeah, that was some good Quake right there that we saw. Again, unfortunately, the movement errors near the end there, like you said, we still could be casting sudden death, but Av3k just couldn't clip the corner. He had the dire orb too, so if he would have made that jump, he could have closed the gap with the dire orb, but that's all in the past now. No one cares. It's all about map number 2, and it's going to be Ruins. vengeurR working on a 2-0.
He is, and of course Av3k wants to take it to that third decider, which is a Slash versus Nyx on Blood, and I think that would be a treat. It's going to be great either way, but to have the match be on the line, the series be on the line, that's where it gets real juicy. So we'll have to see. vengeurR, of course, against this Galena, going to have to prioritize taking those totems down. It's already going to be hard enough doing damage to Galena. Having the overstack just makes things worse, especially if you're in some rail wars. You get a get out of jail free card. So, well, let's see how these two kick it off as we start game 2.
Map 2 underway, and we're going to start off on vengeurR, and he's going to start off on the heavy. Av3k already has rail and LG. Just giving up the angle, though. Wants to make his way over to the Mega, so 10-second split right off the bat, assuming that opens up the game for Av3k to try and play towards this next heavy. vengeurR popping the vision, trying to make sure that he's safe for the time being while he's still trying to collect all his weapons.
Yeah, I'm wondering what he thinks about his weapon selection right here, right? Rail and LG, no rockets. He's making his way over there eventually. Okay, he's probably feeling a little bit more comfortable right now. Getting ready. Now, totems are looking pretty good for Av3k so far here. And there's their first rail. It comes out from Av3k. And immediately, vengeurR backing off. He's going to pop another one using that vision to fire those great defensive rockets. But unfortunately, the last air rocket doesn't hit. And Av3k takes the first frag. Nicely done.
But he doesn't grab the rockets on the ground. Why? Av3k, please. He just has LG and Rail still maintaining the item control, but lacking rockets. Does have the ability to grab it. 9 seconds till the Mega. vengeurR is already positioned for the Mega, but he's going to have to flee and get out of there. So he doesn't have a lot to work with.
Oh, he did grab that RL on the upper level. Mega's up. And just wondering where his opponent is at. Throws down some totems there in the middle top area, which is probably a good indicator that he wants to stay there as well. And so far, the rails have gone to Av3k. Now he's got full control. This is a great cycle control here for Av3k. Suddenly vengeurR, nice job, but needs to be thinking a little bit about, what am I going to do to try to break this?
That was a beautiful rail from vengeurR, and that was the first that he connected with, only shooting 20%, 1 of 5. But plenty of time to up that stat, and Av3k has been placing that totem right outside the T-con area, and vengeurR has hit that twice. So he's got to start watching out for that as Av3k totems the telly and drops back down for yet another heavy.
Yeah, I mean, so far, he has kept most of those items. No mega pickup. Only one major item pickup here for vengeurR so far. Now, he's not panicking. 40, he's just playing the best game that he possibly can. He's going to make a move for the Mega. Goes in while eating some plasma. Av3k looking for that drive-by rail, and it's not going to happen. But vengeurR doing what he can to kind of break this pattern set by Av3k.
I will not grant you that privilege.
Doing a good job of getting rid of the totems as well, as Av3k already down. Again, for the heavy, vengeurR nowhere to be found, can't even really do damage on it. Item control firmly in Av3k's favor, but only 1 frag to his name. So as he mentioned, vengeurR doing a good job staying patient, not getting crazy, waiting for the proper time to strike, similar to what we saw in map number 1.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of these fights are happening around the Mega here.
Oh,
Huge rockets from Av3k, 3 in a row into a rail, looking for another one to clean it up, and he lands it 2-0. Pretty low's got to be careful as he immediately gets hit with, he almost got hit by that rail. Immediately gets hit with some machine gun damage. And then that rail, Av3k answering back the risk that he's taking to hold on to this lead, looking for yet another one. Can he find it? He does. He tries to finish it up, though, and vengeurR answers back, finally on the board, 1-2, but so very low. He's got to be careful, despite the fact that Mega is up here now. He just could not go for it. Oh, my God.
Oh. Took the wrong way forward, but also Av3k dropping into LG, ill-advised here. He is going to get pushed in through the heavy. Can he escape through the back stairs and just barely alive? Av3k makes it through, but more importantly has the totem to throw down. vengeurR has to be careful. There's a totem! No!
Oh, no. Well, there you go. There you go. It pays off, 40. 4 minutes.
Georgia the jungle. Watch out for the totem!
Av3k is putting on a clinic here. Av3k did go down to about 8 points of health. Unfortunately, does grab that Mega. Now looking for that one rail around the heavy. Not going to happen. vengeurR lives to see another day. And he's got to protect his frags right now, 40. I think, I don't know, with the momentum that Av3k is rocking right now, I think that vengeurR really wants to protect those frags.
Yeah, he's got to do what he needs to do to, 1, stop the bleeding, but also get back into this game. Time is ticking. Ruins is a big map. Eventually, if Av3k wanted to go full defense, he could just make a totem fortress down below and play for the heavy. And vengeurR has to have that in the back of his mind as we're getting closer and closer to the midway point. He is going to grab another heavy and delete a totem, which is very important, as we saw before. It's taken his life before Weed, so coming up big for Av3k. Good rail there from vengeurR, and now he's going to reposition, potentially getting another one. Hits him with a double back, actually, and now pops the vision to just hone in on exactly where Av3k is.
Yeah, he's looking for another rail. Doesn't find it, but that's exactly what vengeurR needs to do. And you've seen his ability to kind of pop off, right, if he does get that frag. We all know that that's there. So he's looking for it. So far, hits that rocket on the chase. He's going to drop down anyway. Unfortunately, it yields nothing, so he only takes damage, and that does allow Av3k to kind of bring himself back up. So those nice rails that he's hitting that go unanswered with the damage, that's exactly what he needs. But, you know, Av3k has been able to course correct as needed when he got hit by those. vengeurR getting another chance here with that Mega. He's going to pop his vision, knows exactly where he's at, but can't land the rail. 45 minutes down on this one. And Av3k still up by 3.
That preemptive rocket was almost beautiful. But vengeurR just a little bit too quick on the trigger now, and less than 4 minutes to get to 3 frags. Can he do it? Av3k playing a beautiful game right now.
Yeah, things slow down a little bit. Take a look how many... okay, Overstack is ready here. Av3k can use it as an opportunity to try to move in. vengeurR knows this. Like, he's playing really smart. There's a drive-by rail, 90 damage. No armor now for Av3k. He's got the opportunity to really make a run here. His opponent just up the jump pad, dropped down into that heavy, and now going to be able to grab yet again the Mega. Oh, big rocket jump, huge aggression coming out. Can't get the frag, unfortunately, but I like what I saw there. Great use of that vision. He's going to rotate over to that Mega. Is he going to be able to find the frag? Av3k doing a great job just playing keep away.
Really good job. 2 great defensive rails to fall back into his fortress. Down by the heavy armor. Might get caught out here. 49 damage on that rocket. vengeur's going to want more. Less than 3 minutes now, but vengeur's still patient, playing around the items, trying to find the perfect point of attack. Doesn't have to quite rush it yet. Does need to be worried about those totems, as that rail just missing, and so does the rocket. But you're right, Av3k playing a great defensive game, but now the fight gets taken to him, and the LG actually in his favor. The rocket won't do a lot of damage with the rail. 3 HP, Wheat. What a play from vengeurR to stay alive.
God, that was so awesome. 40, the rocket jump, it's risky, but he grabs that Mega, and suddenly he's made this a 2-frag game. Another rail hit. There's so much to talk about that last exchange, but this is literally what Av3k talks about in terms of a boxer and how vengeurR is playing this one. He saw an opening. He landed that kidney shot. It stunned Av3k there momentarily, and then the vision pop into the rail was absolutely incredible. Well done. But 2 minutes remaining, Av3k up by 2 in a great position and on a map where he absolutely can kind of snail this one out if he wants to. So vengeurR might have to pop a little bit more aggression, and he starts it right now.
Oh, and he reads it perfectly. Av3k goes for a ride, but he somehow gets away.
Oh, so low, 40.
Health totem initiated.
That was the chance. Another big rocket jump over to the side, stealing away those lights. 1:15 on the clock. Another great rail.
Oh, we could catch him out here. There's the LG. Great defensive rocket from Av3k here, making him think twice, but the time is ticking. He doesn't really have an option. There's the totem fortress. He gets pinned against the wall, and the totems go down, and now it's a 1-frag game. Wheat, and the heavy is in vengeur's favor.
I mean, having that 1 frag is still pretty huge. vengeurR has got to make everything kind of click here, and he turns around the corner. Beautiful rocket, trying to land another one. Opponent drops down to the eye. Av3k trying to get away, and 2 rails makes it a tie game, 4-4. And vengeur's like, I don't want to go into overtime. He lands the rail off the top, is gonna get hit by a totem on the way down. And now, with 30 seconds left to go, vengeurR looking to finish this one up. Av3k is trying to run for his life on the wrong end of the LG, and he goes down. vengeurR up by 1.
vengeurR, what a beast. Played it perfectly, waited patient, and now he could just take a knee for 15 seconds as all the pressure's on Av3k. He has to find him in 9 seconds. I don't think it's going to happen, and Av3k concedes in T-Con. What a play from vengeurR. Extremely patient. Finds the right opportunity and just capitalizes and takes away that map out of Av3k's hands.
I feel like that game showcased so much maturity from vengeurR, right? I mean, the way he played was so disciplined, yet he knew that I needed to take certain risks at various points of this game. And when he took those risks, they were so calculated. And in most cases, and in this particular map 40, they worked out. We saw a couple that really didn't. but that's how he was able to claw his way back. Continue to be patient, take full cycle control, and then, oh my God, like that frag right there was just absolutely beautiful. I've never really seen Vision, I think, used better than that moment, right? To go, this pillar is my God, it is going to save my life, but if I know where my opponent is, then I can peek and rail in a safe manner. It was unreal, that frag, and absolutely the thing that allowed him to win that game.
I think what you said is just took the words right out of my mouth. Maturity, like being able to stay calm in that situation and know I have time. I know the cycles left. I know how I can move around the map to trap. We saw the beautiful read that he did as he dropped down, hit a rail with a rocket jump, but then doubled back, dropped down, and caught him with the LG. In my opinion, that should have been the frag. I don't know how Av3k got away from that.
Yeah.
That just goes to show vengeur's pathing. He's just locked in right now. Pathing, maturity, patience, playing around the items, and just like boxing, being able to take some hits and waiting for your opportunity to throw that haymaker. What a play.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, even though vengeur's going to take the series with that one, and we are going to go into the third game, right? Game 1 was 7-6. This game was 5-4. I look at these types of results, and we might have said, yeah, vengeur's taken the series, but clearly these two players are playing like at a very, very close skill level right there, and that's awesome.
So this has to be 3-2 is what you're saying, so we get the scoreagami.
Yes.
It just has to be a countdown. Sorry.
Yes.
I'm an idiot, Weed. I don't know what to say. But yeah, you're absolutely right.
I mean,
go on before I cut you off.
It's awesome. These matches have been great.
Yeah, fantastic. And it ended on Blood Covenant with Slash against Nyx. Whew! Can't wait. I can't wait. I mean, vengeurR working on a 3-0 against Av3k, I never would have guessed. Never would have guessed that.
I really thought that Av3k was going to take that matchup, right? The way he was playing it early, that first, 5 minutes or so. And it's like, yeah, I can really kind of see what Av3k's plan was. And I think at one point, excuse me, it was just like a rocket jump from vengeurR that made me go, okay, vengeur's really just looking for that opening and wants to strike like a snake in the grass. And it just worked out so beautifully. It's those moments in Quake where, we can't do that because our brain's like, okay, I'm going to do this, this, and this. And then, like you rocket jump into the wall and blow yourself up. You're like, it didn't work out the way I said, but everything worked out the way in the greatest Quake fantasy. That game was perfect for vengeurR.
Perfect indeed, and he's working on a perfect series right now. Can he do it? Can he do the 3-0 against Av3k? We're going to start live on map number 3 on vengeurR, and he's got that Slash, very, very speedy, traversing the map. Av3k's going to be able to claim the heavy. Has a rail and a nail gun, maybe a little bit of shotgun as well. vengeurR's got the rockets of the LG. Very hesitant to push through those nail spam. I like that. Patience again shown by vengeurR.
I would really love to see, the same tenacity thrown out by both of these players in this third game, right? These games are going to matter even going into the final standings because there's a lot of close players in the grand scheme of things. And I do think Av3k is still pretty capable of winning this one, already hitting a couple of rails, and that's exactly what he's going to need to do. I would say based off last 2 games, or at least I guess the last game, rails look pretty even, but I think vengeur's hit more of the rails that made a big difference. Av3k used more rails for control. So we're going to see how this will play out as we're 1 minute in, and it's still been relatively quiet.
Yeah, a little bit of a skirmish there over at the Mega. vengeurR has to be careful grabbing what armor he can as he drops down for the light, just working with the scraps for now as Av3k was able to claim that Mega. Heavy looks to be going his way as well as vengeurR has to slow things down.
Well, a little quiet so far. Big LG from vengeurR coming out right away as Av3k's going to jump across from the top and try to use that vertical positioning to his advantage. It doesn't really work out, and it's awesome too when you have players moving at the speeds in which we're seeing. We did have a rail trade right there, but like how fast they'll go and hit some of these shots. 40, it's pretty fantastic. Great turnaround rail by vengeurR. He's got 0 armor stack though. He's got to go for a light, and he's gonna grab 2 of them, or 1 I guess.
Setting up the lower armor. There's the Ghost Walk. Here's the jump pad. Avik wants this fight real bad. There's a point-blank shotgun blast. Can't follow up with the rail. 25 HP, 50 after the pickup, and vengeurR somehow still alive.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's just relying on his speed here a little bit. LG from the middle platform. Rockets from up top. vengeurR surviving again, and Avik is like a really frustrated exterminator in which the pest keeps getting away from him. 40. vengeurR missing that rail. That would have been a huge opening for him. He's going to make his way over to Mega. It's there, but he's met by his opponent. And this might be like the most defensive / Knicks game that I've ever seen here on Blood Covenant.
Yeah, and I think what you said is absolutely right. vengeurR's just being a pest. He's taking all this damage. Avik smells blood, but he just cannot find him to finish. vengeurR using that mobility of Slash so well.
Yeah, really. Ooh, out of the teleporter. Great rail. Answered back by Avik. vengeurR going to drop down at 91. And both of our major items are up. There we're going to see the Mega go to vengeurR. And now he's going to make his way over quietly. Here's his opponent jumping around. He's going to try to get a shot on the bridge. He's waiting. Oh, almost hits that midair. That would have been insane. And the rockets connecting as well. Avik, though, very, very low. He's got to be careful. vengeurR's got a beat on him. Knows exactly where he's at. Trying to tip some rockets over the side. The LG coming out. Both players super low. Avik just with a little bit better stack. Tries to get away, and he will just break it off for you.
The patience, again, from vengeurR, not forcing the move until he knows it's safe. Avik looking for that fadeaway rail. That could have been absolutely debilitating, but still 0-0, 4 minutes in, and again, another chess match between two fantastic Quake players.
The way this is going, 40, I just would not be shocked if this game ends 1-0. I don't know why. I don't even think that's possible, but I guess nothing would shock me at this point. 4 minutes, 15 seconds on the clock. Oh, off the jump pad. Both players missing their rail. I don't know if it's just, you know, I don't know what it is. These shots, it maybe players' movements are just so on point. vengeurR going up the jump pad, met by a rocket. Some LG coming out with the rail hitting as well. And once again, both players exchange, and then both players just disengage.
Yeah, it's just a lot of respect being shown from both players. And we have hit the 5-minute mark. That Mega saved vengeurR's life, but it still could be bad here. Using that snail trail to get away. And again, slipping and sliding his way.
Oh, Avik's reads are just insane right now. He knows exactly where his opponent is going to be. He's hit some of the shots, but not all of them. If he was hitting some of those shots, and there's a big rail as he drops down to the middle, and then as his opponent goes up the jump pad a little bit too late, he's going to grab another one. vengeurR off the spawn now. Going to try to machine gun his opponent down. Just cannot quite get the damage done, but Avik first on the board.
And that was just a slight movement error from vengeurR there that gave Avik the opportunity to hit the jump pad shot. Other than that, we still would be at a tie game at 0. So Avik forcing the error from vengeurR, taking the lead 1-0. And we very much could see a 1-0. Oh my god, what a delicious rocket. Almost connects with the rail. But we very much could see either a 1-0 or maybe that 3-2 that we were talking about, that scoregami. We'll see.
It's possible. Avik hitting a nice rail. Can he follow up with another one? He can't. What are the accuracies right now? Yeah, not super great. Avik with a 39, vengeurR with a 21. But you're dealing with two, you know, smalls with the with really fast movement, so not too surprising here. Great rocket. He's trying to now lob a rail. Cannot get it done, but Avik in the better position with that one frag on the board.
Ooh, hangs in there for another great rail. May even get another one. Here's the vials get taken. A little bit of rocket splash, but vengeurR able to land that rail to tie it at 1 from down below.
That's what he needed, 40. Those multiple rails in a row, right? The first player that was going to land those is going to put themselves in a great spot. Now, we're about to hit the 3-minute remaining mark. And 1-1. Just to give you kind of context on how much time is left. The drive-by rail from vengeurR looking for another one. Mega pops. Av3k is going to have to get away, but it feels like vengeurR now moving with a little bit more wind in his sails as he seems to want to try to keep on that pressure from that last frag he got 40.
Yeah, feeling a little more free, has a little more stack to work with, so he can be a little more speedy, potentially opening himself up for more rail damage here. Here's the armor shard from down below, the tribal trying to land, forces out the ghost walk. Now Av3k's in a bad way, but vengeurR just misses the bridge jump. That could have been a lot of damage for Av3k. Trying to hit the rails, a little bit of a tickle from down below. That's going to send vengeurR packing, but the heavy will go to Av3k. But he actually doubles back to do damage on the Mega first. Doesn't really net a ton, but just enough to keep vengeurR on his toes.
Yeah, Av3k's still looking for some health here. vengeurR looking for an opportunity to strike. Neither of these guys wants it to go into sudden death here, obviously. But 2 minutes on the clock. One player could absolutely force it here, 40. Now, vengeurR, I don't imagine it is going to be him. I think he is, you know, he knows that his opponent's bleeding a little bit. I think he's looking to end this matchup, but Av3k throwing out some tribal will give away his position here to vengeurR. vengeur's going to on the bridge. Oh my God, he's right on top of huge direct rocket. He trails away. He doesn't even necessarily go in for the kill. Just takes that advantage and runs.
But he mistimes it. He flips the items in his head, Wheat. vengeurR went for the heavy instead of the mega, so that's an opening for Av3k, and that could be a critical mistake.
You're absolutely right. It's 10 seconds to the 1 minute warning. Both players pretty good stacks. What is going to happen here? Are we going to go to sudden death?
I can't think of a better way to end this series between these two.
I agree. Oh, on the bridge. vengeurR making a little bit of noise. His opponent definitely there. So Av3k's, that's an indicator to me that Av3k's not necessarily looking for a fight here. Gonna try to take some rails. Does land one.
Ooh, decent rocket. Enough for vengeurR to say, okay, I can't really peek and do damage on this heavy. He does have position on the mega as he grabs the lower armor shard, but again, just nice slow play. It looks like it might be an all-in on this mega. If it is, that's the end of the game. If not, we're going to sudden death. And there's the snail trail. There's a great rail from Av3k, all things considered. I think he hit another one, too. That's going to force vengeurR down. I don't know how he connected with the second, but there it is, the LG. And another one as well, going up the jump pad. Does hit a defensive rocket, 90 HP. Grabs a health bubble to be out of rail range, but he needs to get the hell out of there, Wheat.
Oh my gosh, hit with another rail. Suddenly Av3k's with 100% rail accuracy and sudden death. And vengeurR is going to grab another light. A very, very tense matchup here. Av3k just hit so many beautiful rails. vengeurR going to try to go for one on his own. And here's his opponent jumping across. He doubles back, gets some LG damage.
Oh.
Trail immediately coming out. 30 seconds in here. This one might be a long one.
Ooh, dancing. Dance with the devil might last you forever. 1-1 here. 1 minute into sudden death. That heavy armor looking pretty good right now. vengeurR, is he going to risk it all? So much LG from down, from up above. Can he make it back in time? And he does. So the mega goes to him, and we dance a little bit longer, Weed.
We do 1 minute into this one. Ooh, rocket. Second one almost connects, but vengeurR does manage to get out of there relatively unscathed. Another rail is going to pop out. And very, very low armor stack here. But heavy's going to be up. Is he going to risk it? He's kind of backing up towards it. No, he's going to hear his opponent grab it. Knows that he's got another light he can possibly go and grab it. He's got to be careful here. Av3k with the superior stack. That mega's going to be picked up. There's a light. vengeurR going to pick it up a little bit. Neither player wants to give an inch.
So slow, so much pressure on both players here. vengeurR again working on a 3-0. Av3k just trying to break through and put one map on the board in this series. Every single map has been so close, and this one's no different. One frag to separate them. 2 minutes into sudden death. Venger stacks so good right now. The rail from Av3k, fantastic. It's really coming in clutch for him near the end here. That's 2 big ones.
Light armor grabbed and does another big rail. Rocket does hit and another one. Av3k suddenly turning on overclock on his rail aim and does manage to pull out a win on that last map. It was nicely done. 1-2. Not a single game between these two. 40 resulted in more than a single frag. vengeurR can't really be too disappointed in that one. Like, both players played it. It's such an incredible series. vengeurR, of course, takes it, but Av3k taking that final map. Nicely done. That was fantastic.
That was a championship set, and I feel like Rafa's off on the corner saying one of his soundboards right there at the end frag. But 2-1 for Av3k. Well played. That rail really coming in clutch near the end there for Av3k. But fantastic set from both players. As we said, every single map, only a frag separating the two. And just absolutely incredible play. Very patient, very calculated, and that is just top-tier Quake. Everybody needs to bookmark this and watch this set over and over again because it was phenomenal all the way through.
Yeah, I mean, I want to give a special shout out to that second game. I thought it was really phenomenal. Like, so much great play coming out from Av3k early on, and then kind of a textbook. Here's an example of how you come back in a game, and especially when you've got a champion like Visor that's not necessarily got like huge comeback mechanics in terms of their abilities and whatnot. Phenomenal game too. All in all, a great series, one of my favorites of the day. But we've got one more 40, and maybe that one can top this one. I don't know.
That's true. We always come up with 2 featured matches for you folks, and we got the second one coming up after a quick break. We're going to have Maxter Kilson. Don't go anywhere. More Quake to be had after this quick break.